Hey there, Griever Gang. Welcome back to Griever Productions. I'm going to be completely honest here, right? I don't know if this song is going to be able to be put up onto YouTube, and there is a good reason for that. I reacted to Dimash performing this song ages ago. Ages and ages and ages ago. And by that I mean, I think it was like the second song I'd reacted to of him on the channel, and it was allowed on YouTube and it was all fine. Until they decided to full-blown copyright strike the channel, which I tried to fight. I got the copyright strike, and then it ended up just kind of going anyway. But I'm hoping to be a little cheeky here, right? Because I loved that version. I thought his version was great. This, however, is a more modern version that I have found online, and I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to react to it and not have the same issue happen. Fingers crossed. And I know it's been a while since we've looked at Dimash on the channel, and I do apologize about that. I absolutely adore his stuff, I do. And I wanted to see what he was up to. So my intention of doing this was to go through and actually watch something brand new. But this existed, so I don't care. I want to have a look at this, because this was really good. I remember it being really good. But again, this is a different version. I don't... was the other one live? Yeah, the other one was live, but for a competition in China, I believe. And unfortunately, as well, that video is lost to time. I can't even find that anymore. It's not even on the Patreon that I've got, because it predated the Patreon, and I just never kept the file, which is a shame. But anyway, so let's have a look at this. Before we begin, please do leave a like on the video. It really does help. If you have not subscribed, I'd appreciate it if you did so. But without any further ado, let's have a listen to Dimash performing Show Must Go On.
Empty spaces. What are we living for? Abandoned places. I guess we know the score. On and on. Does anybody know what we are looking for?
Okay. For those who are new to the channel, I do like to pause, go through things that I'm hearing. If anybody could tell me what he did to his hand, I would love to know. I remember seeing a video of him riding on horses, and the way that he was riding, I wouldn't be shocked if he broke it doing that. Sorry, that sounded like I was saying he was a bad rider. No. He was just doing some crazy things that every fiber of my being goes, don't do that, that's dangerous. But I can't remember, it's been so long since I listened to that previous version that I can't remember if he started that in this octave or not. And the reason I bring that up is because in the original of this, the Queen number, it's actually, it starts in the octave higher, and we know what Dimash's range is like. It's insane. We know that for a fact. So I'm interested, I'm interested to see if anybody else remembers too, because it was again, a good performance. I just don't remember that point. But but I really like the idea because of, again, we know his range, we know where he can go. Being able to really show off not the entirety, but like a large portion of his range by choosing to do this the octave lower is a very, very interesting choice that not a lot of singers could make.
Another hero, another mind to scribe behind the curtains. In the pantomime, hold the line. Does anybody want to take it anymore?
Okay, wow.
Show must go
on. Hang on. Let me go back here a second, right? So there's a moment here I love. There's a very specific part of his voice that, while the entirety of his voice is magnificent, there is a very specific spot that, for me, makes me melt, right? And it's right in this spot here. Nope, further back, hang on.
Hold the line. Does
there.
anybody want to take it anymore?
Right there. It's so smooth. Oh, it's wonderful.
Show must go on. Show must go on. Inside my heart is breaking. My makeup may be flaking, but my smile still stays on.
Okay. Again, another point I want to bring up here. Let me listen to hear how he does this again.
My makeup may be flaking, but
Yeah, okay, so the way that he sings the word flaking. My makeup may be flare. How he goes into that really classical spot, right? I love hearing examples of this because obviously there's a very big difference between the way that he's approached that to the way that Freddie does it, where Freddie does it more straight in the terms of, my makeup may be flaking, but my smile. And it just shows how two very prominent singers approach something very, very differently. And it's wonderful to hear those nuances. I love it.
Still stays on. Whatever happens, I leave it all to chance. Another courage, another first romance. On the north, does anybody know what we are looking for? Another hero, another mind described behind the curtain in the pantomime. On the line, does anybody want to take it anymore? Show must go on. Show must go on. Inside my heart is breaking. My makeup may be flaking, but my smile.
Okay, the reason I got so excited when he hit that note, because it's not the highest note that's going to be hit in this song, like, no shot, right? There is something to be said about singers that can hit these notes. There is something else to be said about singers that make it seem and look so easy. This man makes that look so easy. This song fits very, very well into a tenor range. If you don't have that sort of tenor range, it is very, very difficult to do. We know that Dimash supersedes the idea of tenor. He supersedes the notion of any kind of vocal category, I think would be the word to use there. But in order to do that, it's very high for most people. Show must go on. Show must go on. And yet, the way that he does it, it's almost as if it's nothing to him. Something that I have been saying a lot lately, it is complexity in terms of the technique and the amount that's going on inside here, disguised as simplicity. How many people listened to that as opposed to Freddie's version, right? But they listened to Dimash do it and they go, I reckon I could hit that. And it's because of how easy he makes it sound. And I don't mean that to rag on Freddie. This fit perfectly in Freddie's range. But the difference being the approach that they take and where their voices sit, very, very different. Freddie had a very different message to put through when he sang it, as opposed to what Dimash is doing. Dimash is so technically pristine, while Freddie, how do I, like, because Freddie had good technique, but it was, the thing that set Freddie aside was that king of emotion and king of storytelling. He knew what inflections to use on that voice to make a point hit home. Dimash does that too, but I feel like Freddie kind of takes it in that regard tiny bit. But again, how much easier does it sound for him to do it, to the point where you would look at it and go, I reckon I could do that.
Still stands on.
Wonderful voice.
My soul is painted like the wheels
I only just realised that's an electric violin.
Fairy tales of yesterday, recall but never die. I get there, my
Same with that. It's so easy.
show must go on.
God.
You find the regret. I am never giving in. Got it. You find the regret. I am never giving in. Got
Insane. We're rewatching the whole end section of that again, and I'm going to pause through it because there's a couple of things I want to bring up here.
My soul is painted like the wings of butterflies. Fairy
Beautiful
tales
run.
of
Oh.
yesterday, recall but never die. I get there, my
Yep. Again, ease. Just crazy ease.
show must go on. You find the regret. I am never giving in. Got it.
Okay, this is what I want to bring up. Here's what I want to bring up. Now, I sympathize with him, right? So, something that I'm noticing here is the way that he's cupping his ear. Now, a little bit of speculation on my part, of course, here. But I'm thinking from the start of this video, he hasn't been able to hear himself very well. And the reason that I say that, these in-ears are incredible at two things. One, giving you the direct sound of everything that's happening around you. And two, blocking out any ambient sound happening. They are almost noise cancelling to the nth degree, basically. And now, there's a couple of tricky things that come with that for some artists, right? And I'm not saying that this is the case here. I'm just going through and explaining how these things work. When you talk as opposed to when you sing, if you were talking to me right now, the way that you process what your voice sounds like is very different from what I'm hearing. And the reason that is because when you speak, a large part of what you are actually hearing is the vibration that's caused in your own skull. And I know that that is a weird thing to say, and now it's probably going to freak some people out, because it freaked me out for a little bit. But it's true. That is why when you record yourself and you listen to yourself back, you go, I don't sound like that, do I? Yeah, you 100% do to other people, but it is just you're so used to hearing a particular thing. Now, with these in, right, what these do, it's essentially blocking your ears. Okay? And what that does, you've probably seen a lot of videos, a lot of images of people in the 90s going like this, singing into the microphones and doing their thing, right? It's an image that was very notorious with the 90s, especially with the big divas like people like Mariah Carey. The reason that people would do that is so that they can get a more intense version of that vibration in the skull if things were around them too loud, basically. If things were too loud around them and they could not hear themselves, that's what the trick was. Put your finger in your ear and you will understand and you will hear exactly where you're pitching. It is a very, very good pitching tip. Was it overused in the 90s? Hell yeah. In this case, right, he almost immediately took one of the ears out, which tells me straight away that either he was specifically wanting to hear something and wasn't, so he needed the ambient sound of everything around him, or the music was too loud in his head and the music was drowning even that vibration feeling out of his head. These are things that can happen. These are a very, very, like, in order to get these right, you need to work with them and work with them and work with them. And I know that Dimash has. I'm not saying that about Dimash. I'm saying about the sound guys. Now, each sound guy is going to have a different idea of what that singer needs. And sometimes, only sometimes, I'm not saying that this is all the time, but sometimes they think they know best. Believe me, been there. It's not a good time, and it makes things very difficult. So, fast forward to this point, he's got one out, right? And now he's blocking the ear. My speculation is that he's doing that so that he's not getting the ambient sound, he's not getting the direct sound from the in-ear, but he's still getting that added vibration to hear himself. My question, however, is what are these foldbacks doing? Because in-ears, if the in-ears exist, you don't need a singer fallback. So I'm wondering if this was an oversight from the sound guys, and maybe he was too stimulated by all of the sound coming in. But I have to give props where it's due, right? What I'm seeing is a nightmare scenario, and if it is the nightmare scenario, and this is why I say there's a bit of the speculation there, and if it is that nightmare scenario that's happening in my head, you cannot see it on his face. These are just little things that I've learned to look for. He is nailing it like a true pro, like he does. So if these things are going wrong, which somehow I suspected there is something wrong with the in-ears, he is doing an incredible job of hiding it. Also, he's going closer to that fallback as well. Dropping to a knee to do that last note? Crazy, man. Crazy. Like, I'm going to put it this way, right? There is a reason that it is a rule that you just don't do that. And it's because of how, like, how much constriction happens here. But you would never have thought, like, just listening to how he does that, if you weren't watching it, you would never have known he took a knee there. You would never have known, because there was no waver. The guy is a just pure professional. We talk about the 10,000 hour rule, like, to master a song, like, master a particular thing. He's done that 10,000 hours time and time again. Anyway, let's go to final thoughts, and we'll discuss further. Okay. What do you say about stuff like that? really. The song is brilliant. The song itself is written brilliantly. It's one of my favorite songs. And I think a part of the reason for that is the way that it is written. It's so perfect for getting a story across, but with a great flair for the dramatic, but not to the point where it's almost cheesy. I mean, I can see why some people may think it's like a little bit beyond that sort of cheesy level of dramaticism. I think it's great. And it takes a very specific and a very special kind of vocalist to pull that off. Man, Dimash, what do we say about him? Because as I was saying earlier, throughout all of the videos that I've looked at him of his, throughout all of the performances that we've watched on this channel, and even outside of the channel, he is the epitome of complexity disguised as simplicity. I talk about the difference between a good singer and a great singer is both will be able to hit the notes, but the great singer will make it seem easy. He makes the great singer look like the good singer in a lot of those moments, if that makes sense, because of the technique that he uses, the way that he just knows that voice inside and out. It is a very, very intriguing voice, but you can tell that he is such a cerebral singer too, where everything is being thought about from start to finish, and you can never take that away from him. He is brilliant in that. But look, if there's anything else you guys would like me to react to, in the description below, there is a link to our Google form. And that is all the time I have for this one today. It's already gone way longer than I expected to do. There's just so much to talk about when it comes to his stuff. Like this video if you enjoyed, subscribe, do all that sort of thing, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye for now. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to support us further and join the wonderful list of people here, we have a Patreon that you can join from as little as $3 Australian per month. And if you like gaming and film reviews, you can join us over at Griever Gaming or Griever Film and TV. Links in the description below. Griever Film and TV is one that I've still yet to launch, but hopefully that'll be soon. Alright, see you soon.